alright, alright.
Now let's talk about the South China Sea. A major row has erupted, one that could further raise tensions in the volatile region. Among the many disputes in the South China Sea is the one between the Philippines and China. And now China has made a significant claim. It says it has struck a secret deal with the Philippines, a secret deal that dilutes Manila's claims in this disputed region. That's what the Chinese diplomats say. And do they have proof of this deal? They're citing a phone call. China says this phone call happened in January. Listen to this.
At the beginning of this year, China repeatedly negotiated with the Philippines' Western Command through diplomatic channels to reach a new model for Second Thomas Shoal transportation and subsidy.
They're talking about a new model in the Second Thomas Shoal. This is part of the Spratly Islands, the disputed region. Both China and the Philippines say it belongs to them. In recent months, China has stepped up its presence here. It has been using force to assert its claims. It has been sending Coast Guard boats. They've been deployed around a shipwreck, the BRP Sierra Madre. It's a rusting ship that Manila refuses to remove. This ship has been here since 1999. It has become a symbol of Manila's claims. In fact, the Philippines has stationed troops to guard it. They often send supplies to these troops through ships. And China tries to block these shipments by firing water cannons at them or colliding with Philippine vessels. These are all dangerous moves, of course. They raise the risk of conflict. Now, the same China says they have a secret deal, a gentleman's agreement. That's the term they've used. A deal with the Philippines. They're talking about a new model to manage the dispute. And what is this model? Beijing claims that Manila has agreed to send fewer vessels to the Second Thomas Shoal, and whenever they plan a resupply mission, whenever the Philippines plans a mission, they will notify China in advance. In other words, Manila will check with Beijing every time it pays a visit to its own territory. These are the terms of the so-called secret deal. Only China says such a deal was made. And now China says Manila is breaking it. What does Manila say? It has dismissed China's claims. It says no such deal was ever made. And that's not all. The Philippines is now threatening to expel Chinese diplomats over these claims. Eduardo Ano has spoken. He's the National Security Advisor of the Philippines. His target is the Chinese mission in Manila. Listen to what he said. The Chinese embassy in Manila, and I'm quoting, has orchestrated repeated acts of engaging and dissemination of disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. Those actions should not be allowed to pass unsanctioned without serious penalty. And that penalty could be the expulsion of Chinese diplomats. Listen to Beijing's response.
The relevant statement of the Philippine side precisely proves that they have become weak in the face of facts and evidence, and that they have reached the point of exasperation and have no bottom line at all. China solemnly requests the Philippine side to effectively safeguard the normal performance of duties by Chinese diplomatic personnel, stop infringing and provoking, and refrain from denying the facts or acting harshly or lifting a stone to smash their own feet.
What is this evidence that China is talking about? An audio recording of the phone conversation where the secret deal is said to have been struck. It features this man, Vice Admiral Alberto Carlos. He heads the Western Command of the Philippine military. He's the man in charge for the Second Thomas Shoal. Now, China says this Vice Admiral agreed to the new model while speaking to a Chinese diplomat. So first, China released a transcript of the call, the secret deal. Then they released the audio recording. The Chinese embassy in Manila called some journalists and played the audio recording for them. So according to China, this audio clip is a smoking gun, the definitive proof of a secret deal. Has anyone been able to authenticate it independently? Not that we know of. Plus, China's story is riddled with holes. For starters, can a naval officer strike deals on behalf of the entire country? Manila says they cannot. The Philippine Defense Secretary has spoken about this. His name is Gilberto Teodoro Jr. And he says only the president can seal an international agreement. There is another problem with China's claims. Reports say Beijing has redacted some of the statements. They've removed parts from the transcript that was released earlier this week. So we don't have a full version of the events to begin with. China is putting out selective facts. Clearly, there is more to this story, and Beijing is trying to mislead the international community. China's allegations are just like their claims on the South China Sea, baseless and hollow.
Alright, alright, alright.